Not the most ideal start to the week, but this is us on the wheeling trip, and I decided to use my spare wheel because I had a patch on my other tire, and here you're looking at the aftermath of those bolts essentially wallowing through and snapping off. I'm sorry, the lug nuts wallowing through and snapping the bolts off. And so luckily I had my buddy Sean on the trail, and we were able to grab the parts, hammer out the old studs, bolts, and fix it. Alright, so final setup. We have, for a camera, we're running Osmo here on the sailing, and then I'm using an MC Pro just to have a little bit of spotlight on him. I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now, but I'm going to use this angle is like a B angle, or a C angle. And the last is that one up there. So this should be interesting. I think in the background here, they're going to have people getting their hair cut. Obviously, the DJ set's here. A camera. Oh, that's right. I'll be floating around with this camera. It's only an hour-long set, so it should be fine, but I'll be floating around with that. Yo, look at this thing. Dude, it's a VHS taping. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that in a while. Today is the second day of the 5-video series shoot that I am doing for our government client. And we have 2 B-roll interview packages today. One we're shooting in the Pentagon actually first. So I'm headed there now. Definitely going to get there a bit early just to get through all the security and whatnot. Basically cleaned out my whole car to make sure I didn't have any of the banned items. But yeah, this should be fun. Headed to the Pentagon now. First time filming there. And then over to Alexandria for a physical therapy association. Both of who won awards from my client. This is definitely one of the more difficult rooms I've worked in. Although we have some cool stuff on the background here, there's not a ton of space. So, I mean, we're trying for something like this, but we'll see how it ends up. Still using these Rhodes because they're the most reliable and the easiest to set up. I might get myself a set of the DJI ones because they can record internally, which is awesome. But for now, just these guys and a lav. I'm using the 35 because of how tight the room is, but because of how close I am to the subject, I think I'm going to try the 50. Because sometimes using a 35 too close can make interviews look a little bit distorted on the wide end. So I might just tighten up, but we'll see what this looks like. Once I have a sit-in here in a couple seconds, I'm going to set up the light now. It looks pretty decent. I put an MC Pro here to put a splash of light on the wall. Kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to plug that in now. And in a couple minutes here, we have our first interviewee. So I only have 30 minutes with the director. We just finished the interview in there, and now they want to do B-roll, so we're just going to go handheld because I don't think I'll have time to swap out the gimbal. All right, all loaded out, and we got some pretty good interviews, some good B-roll. fun to shoot at a location like this, although not fun to go through all the security measures that they have. Yeah, off to the next one, headed to Alexandria to actually like a private company. I think it's the Alexandria Physical Therapy Association, something like that. Location 2 of 2 for the day, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I thought about actually filming on the roof because of how nice it would look, but it's a bit loud. So the idea is to use this logo in the background, but the issue I'm working with is this reflection. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna do a frame, something like this. You know, something like that. Put my character here. And that way we can try and cover up that reflection, get a little bit of the view and the logo. We'll see. Final setup here. I actually have enough output because these windows here are ND'd, plus it's a cloudy day out. So I was actually able to shoot into the windows and get their logo in the background. So requested and request fulfilled, and I can even get a little bit of DCA, the airport back here. I'm probably gonna have to try and pull that back in post, if there's even any information in that top right corner. I love getting new views of the nation's capital. And this building here in Alexandria has a pretty stellar one. A great view of DCA there. Metro below. All right, all done with the interviews. And now we're headed to do some B-roll at the metro stations and the bike paths. And then that'll be a wrap for today. We'll finally be done. It's been a pretty long day today, through all the Pentagon stuff, red tape, security, all that stuff. But tomorrow should be much easier, shooting for a different client. Oh my gosh, I jinxed it. All right, we are 2 for 2 completed, wrapped on the day. Just gonna pack everything up and head to grab a late lunch. Again, you know, just a lot of B-roll and interview stuff, not a whole lot of anything new. Tomorrow, we're working a conference for another client, so I'll take you along that one. And yeah, thanks everyone for staying tuned in. If you're this far in, I plan on trying to do vlogs for 52 weeks, all of 2025, and reevaluate sort of what it did for my career after that, if anything, other than just posting a bunch of random videos. But yeah, I'm excited for what the year's bringing, and I do appreciate anybody that is still watching and staying tuned up until this, which is vlog, I think 19 or something like that. I do appreciate it. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll keep the content coming.